Hello, Namaste everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Now, today we are going to talk about Venus in the nakshatra of Dhanishta. So, let's get started by understanding what we can know if your Venus is in Dhanishta Nakshatra. But before that, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon below. And if you found this video worth something, do drop a comment. If you guys would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box below www.anmolastrology.com. Under the readings and unique readings section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. And if you would like to sign up for courses, you can sign up under the courses option. The new course, the complete predictive course, will be available online probably by end of February or March 2026. All right, so let's get started with Venus in Dhanishta Nakshatra. So, first of all, let me tell you guys that I am going to give my honest experience with Venus in Dhanishta Nakshatra. This indeed is a difficult nakshatra for for Venus to be in. So please, if you are strong-minded, which I personally feel that the Dhanishta people are very, very strong-minded, very courageous because of the presence of Mars. But please have a strong mind and strong, understanding to this concept. I'm not only going to give you predictions, but I'm also going to give you the explanation of why I am saying what I am saying. All right. So first of all, what we are going to learn in this video, Venus represents your income, your association with your family, the way you have a perception or the outlook towards family or creating family. What you possess? What are your possessions? What are your traditions? What are your beliefs towards your one's culture or one's tradition? What is the nature of your spouse? And how you are in a particular setting of a relationship, or what is your perspective towards relationship, your karma with relationships. So that is what we are going to learn within this video, because that's what Venus represents. Please remember, these are not just the traits of your spouse. Many times we are going to talk about the traits of your spouse, but at the same time, this is your life story, because ultimately it's your Shukra, it's your Venus. All right. So, first of all, this Venus comes into two sides. One would be on the side of Capricorn, another would be on the side of Aquarius. So we have much difference on both these sides with Dhanishta Nakshatra. When Shukra is on the side of Capricorn or on the side of Aquarius, it is getting the structural energy of Saturn. So, definitely, your perspective with relationships and indeed your experience with relationships is overall associated with futuristic goals, with uh, coming into structure, understanding the harsh reality of life. So Venus will have the influence of first the zodiac signs of Saturn and then the nakshatra of Mars. So just imagine Venus, Mars, and Saturn being together. So in itself, whenever Venus comes into the nakshatra of Dhanishta, it's utmost dedication that you have towards relationships, and at the same time it's never the easy journey for your relationships, because whenever you will have a combination of Saturn's energy coming together with Mangal's energy, and then Venus is entering that space, that means there is way more technicalities attached to your relationships. Now, for you, relationships have never been peaceful. For you, relationships are not the ones who are just about romance, who are just about unionship. but rather has so much technicalities associated with it. It's like a war space where you'll have to make strategies, you'll have to fight for a cause, where you'll have to be in a setting which is never peaceful. Although, because of the influence of Saturn getting, the influence of Mars and then Venus coming here, this particular domain is giving you utmost focus for your ambition. So definitely this nakshatra does extremely well when your Venus is present here. It gives you the fortunes of life. It gives you the ability to reach at top. It gives you the ability to be a philanthropist yourself first after earning a lot of money. But where it lacks is the relationships. So having Venus in Dhanishta, either your marriage happens late or your marriage always has a sense of difficulties for you. So, first of all, the planet that rules this nakshatra, that is Mars, Mangal. Wherever the energy of Mangal goes in, there is where your achievement lies. There is where your focus and energy lies. So, Venus coming in the nakshatra of Dhanishta, in the nakshatra of Mangal, this gives a person immense ambition and immense power to reach and complete their goals. It makes you dedicated, it makes you organized, it makes you very disciplined with your career and within your relationships. It's a sense of strong passion that is there. There's also a strong aggression that comes towards achieving your financial goals and towards achieving the agenda of unionship in your life. But at the same time, this falls under the domain of Saturn, which gives it restriction. Rather, it gives it more determination. So this is a very, very focused placement because of the presence of Mars. But Mars, it's a soldier. You are willing to fight for your love. You're willing to fight with your love. So for you, your relationships never are peaceful because they will always feel like a war battle. They will always feel like it's a achievement that you have to get. It's a competition that you have to face. All right. Now, the difference between Venus on the side of Capricorn and on the side of Aquarius is that with the side of Capricorn, this Venus is more restricted. This Venus has to work really, really hard to connect within their relationships, and this calls for immense patience within their relationships. As far as the relationship with the family is involved, they have their utmost intensity of provision towards their family and they work towards their family, but they always have to prove themselves in front of their family and in front of their partner, their spouse. And even you would see if you have Venus on the side of Capricorn, then your partner indeed is going to be a very hardworking person. He or she himself or herself is going to be an individual who has gone through the struggles in their life and ultimately understood the harsh practical reality of life. Now, what if this Venus goes onto the side of Aquarius? Aquarius is a futuristic sign. It's a sign associated with technology, technical changes, innovations, scientificness, and scientific changes. It is the most practical and futuristic sign. Here, Venus makes you very much dedicated towards your desires. So, with Venus on the side of Dhanishta, in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, you desire a partner who adds on to your growth, who adds on to your ambition, and who fulfills your desire. And with the connection with that person, you are going to grow within the dynamics of your social identity. So you always have a very practical mindset whenever you have to decide for your partner when your Venus comes onto the side of Aquarius. in Dhanishta Nakshatra. Although on the side of Capricorn, it's selfless, it's sacrificial. So, on the side of Capricorn, it can be that you might marry a person just because you want the society to accept you. And on the side, I'm just giving an example here. And on the side of Aquarius, you tend to decide to get married because you want to grow, you want to be seen in the society. So that's two different sides of the same coin. All right. Now, another thing that we have is the symbol of this nakshatra. So, the symbol is the drums and flutes. Another thing you'll see with Venus in Dhanishta specifically, not Moon, not Saturn, not Mars, but Venus in Dhanishta, you have such a beautiful voice and beautiful association with music. These people should always have some instrument or always practice an instrument. That will indeed give you growth in your spiritual self and also within your finances. So that's one of the remedies for you. But definitely with Venus and Dhanishta, these people have a very good sense with music. Absolutely love music. And somehow music is something that calms them down. Even though you are going somewhere, you are traveling, or you're sitting at your home in your own space, you would want to hear the music, or you would love to play some instruments. But the another side of this drums and flutes is that drums and flutes sometimes, if heard to a limited scenario or to a limited portion, it feels soothing to a person. But what if the volume of these drums and flutes go at the highest and you have to hear it 24/7 in a day? Then you will feel irritated. You will feel as if this is the noise pollution for you. You will feel agitated, uncomfortable. That's what happens with Dhanishta Nakshatra. Nothing in their life happens without the drums and flutes happening, without the noise pollution or disturbance happening. So everything, especially with Venus and Dhanishta, when your marriage happens with the dhol and the nagada. It happens with disturbances, and it is also the theme within your marriage. Now, this also represents that your spouse will be very much inclined towards music and is going to have potentially a very good voice. But of course, you need to check your eighth house for that. But initially, Venus and Dhanishta can give your spouse very good technical knowledge and instrumental knowledge, and very much associated with music. All right. Now, this drums and flutes also signifies that these people should never announce anything related to their relationships. Venus going into the nakshatra of Dhanishta gives a strong karma with, you can call as nazar. Whenever you are going to do something in regards, suppose if you're going to buy a property, if you're going to buy gold, you're going to buy anything which is either your fixed asset or either your possession, right? Your articles of what you need to what you want to collect, anything related to your money matters, and anything related to your business partnerships and love relationships and your spouse. Never announce anything until unless it happens. Because if you announce, that will not be happening anytime. So you have to be hidden or hideous with your relationships and with the success of your relationships and with your material success. All right. So these are the things we need to observe with the symbol. Now, next we have the animal associated with this nakshatra, which is the lioness. And the lioness plays a very important role more than a lion. A lion would be a very lazy lad, just sitting on the side and giving the commands and, just allowing others to serve him, just like a king. That's the inclination of Leo. That's the representation of Leo. But here, because your animal totem is lioness, in your love and relationships, you are going to be the provider. Even if you are a male, even if you are a female, in fact, you are going to be the one to be the provider or bring the food to the table. Somehow, you will be responsible for your marriage wealth, for the wealth of your marriage, for what accumulation of money is happening. So, this with Venus in Dhanishta, your marriage would need your hard work. If it is on the side of Capricorn, it's where your hard work is needed, where your career is needed. On the side of Aquarius is where your social presence is needed. And even actually, on the side of Capricorn, if you have Venus in Dhanishta on the side of Capricorn, right opposite to it, you will have Ashlesha Nakshatra, which will give you deception within the provision within the matters of your relationships. So, with Venus on the side of Capricorn, you will struggle, or most of the conflicts or fights, arguments within your marriage would be on the non provision or deception through your spouse towards you. If you are a female, then it is the monetary provision that you were expecting your spouse to give, but he is manipulative, he is not that provisional, or he thinks of himself first. If you are a male and your Venus is in Dhanishta, that means your partner will be deceptive towards providing you within the home or home dynamics or being very truthful to you. So there is going to be some sort of deception there. Although on the side of Aquarius, the right opposite nakshatra comes to be Magha. So that's why the deception part is not there. All right. But yes, it is there that your partner, your spouse, if you have Venus in Dhanishta on the side of Aquarius, would be a little self absorbed, would desire utmost attention for you to give towards them, and sometimes will also be absent or absent minded. All right. Another thing that lioness usually hunts in the middle of the night, right? And from like dusk to the dawn. So you feel extremely activated with your research, with your skills, and with the thoughts of making money or handling expenses during that time. So somehow you will have an inclination either to stay up late and think about the finances or think about the relationships, or you will get up early and do certain things which are either about the provision, the expenses, the income, money matters, calculations, and everything, or just thinking about your relationships. All right. Now, next we have the mythology or the deity of this nakshatra, which is the Ashtavasus, the eight gods, those gods who are related to the elements. So there we have the earth, the dhara, the anila, the anila, the wind, the anala, the fire, dhruva, the pole star, prabhas, the sky, the atmosphere, Apha, the water, Soma, moon, Pratyusha, the dawn. So these are the 8 Vasus and how they are associated with this nakshatra. So, because of the association of the Ashtavasus, this nakshatra is said to be the nakshatra of royalties, the nakshatra of fortune. So there is fortune, there is royalties, there's immense amount of money that you'll be able to have, that you are also able to give out. But it would require some sacrifice on the personal end. Now, if we'll talk about the mythology, then these 8 Vasus actually, Vasu means the ray of light. So they bring in light into your life. They bring in light with the fortunes in your life. So what happened was that these Ashtavasus decided to steal the cow of sage Vasishtha. And as a result, sage Vasishtha cursed these Ashtavasus that you are going to be born in the mortal world as mortal. Then they went to the gods, and gods convinced the sage Vasishtha that please lighten the curse. And as a result, he lightens the curse and says that 7 of you will go on the earth, will be born as mortals, but in a span of just 1 year, you will come back. You will be gone from that mortality. But the 8th one, the Prabhasa, who was the god of the sky, he cursed him that you will be the only one to survive, to be the mortal one. And Prabhasa was incarnated as the Bhishma pitamah, the Devarata. So Shantanu, there was King Shantanu, who was, who had Ma Ganga as his wife, because Ma Ganga promised the Ashtavasus that she is going to help them to escape this mortal world. So what happened? She conditioned that I am going to stay with you with King Shantanu, but you would not come in between my way. So when each and every child of theirs was born, she used to go and consume them into the river, into the Ganga. But when it was the matter of Prabhasa to be reincarnated, to be born, King Shantanu came in between and he was like that I am no more going to let you do this. So that's why the Bhishma Pitama was born. So as a part of this mythology with Venus, see, if it would have been moon, if it would have been another planet, like for example, your fifth lord, your sun, your moon in Dhanishta, only then you will be subject to miscarriages or abortions with a prominence of Dhanishta. Because I know most of the people know this side of Dhanishta. But when we are talking about Shukra, when we are talking about Venus, Venus is the representator of your career, of where your income comes from, your family, or your spouse. So, being a male, this can be a theme that can happen within the life of your spouse, right? Or if you have your Venus in Dhanishta, this could be a theme which can happen within your family. Within your family, there could be someone who has experienced a couple of miscarriages or abortions. Or in regards of your career, in regards of your money matters, in regards of finances of your family, there would have been major transformations time to time. They had to restart. They had to things did go. The money was there, then the downfall was there. They had to restart with the money matters. They have to restart with the career, and it can even happen with your career. But it happens in the very beginning stage. So this particularly shows the obstacles that you are going to get. Now, the second mythological story which was represented with this nakshatra was the story of Bhishma Pitama. He took the double vow, the double oath, to of celibacy, that he would never marry, he would remain as a celibate and protect the throne of Hastinapur, and which is not going to be taken by any other people other than the Kauravas. So his oath of his words, like what he pledged for, he abided by it till the day he died. And Bhishma Pitama had the boon from his father, King Shantanu, that he can decide the way he dies. So, as a result, he was injured by his very close nephew. He was injured by someone of his own, by Arjuna. And later, he decided on his death when sun was in Uttarayan. So, this shows us that with Venus in Dhanishta, you will have to go through deception. You will have to go through the hurt which is going to come from your closest ones, not someone from the outside, not anyone from the outside, from your social circle or anyone, but from your closest people, either your spouse, either your partner in love, or your own family. But still, despite of that deception, you will have to take care of them. You will have to abide by your word and by your oath. Another thing with this Ashtavasus, that Ashtavasus represent the 8 directions: the south, north, east, west, southeast, southwest, northeast, northwest. So that's why this nakshatra gives you the ability of Vastu Shastra. And this also represents, if you have your Venus in you have your Venus in Dhanishta, and you have been experiencing delays in marriage, delays in, your career, your income, your potential, check your Vastu. The people with Venus in Dhanishta are meant to have Vastu dosha, especially on the southeast direction of their home, or at least their room. And that's the reason why your relationships are not going to be working out. So, another mythological story that is associated with this nakshatra is of the Narsimha. The Narsimha Roop, the Narsimha avatar of Lord Vishnu, is what Dhanishta represents. How Narsimha, or you can say Lord Vishnu, had to come in the form of Narsimha to destroy, to slay the Hiranyakashapa, to protect Prahlad. And also, the animal totem is lioness. This shows the fierceness, the aggressive nature, the protective nature, the competitive nature of this nakshatra. You When you are in love, you are a protector, even if you know you are getting deceived on. And genuinely, I can recall so many examples in my mind with most of all females, like two or three females I have interacted as a part of my profession. And I've seen that they had Venus in Dhanishta, especially on the Capricorn side. And these people have gone through the deception. They have experienced lack of security from their partners, and still they are so protective over their partners. They are so protective over the love. And I've also seen struggles with sexual relationship within the marriage with Venus and Dhanishta. So that's the karma. That's the karma with this nakshatra, that even though you go through tremendous obstacles within your love, within your relationships, but you have given your word. You have given your word the day you got married to the other person, and you just abide by it. So that's the part of your karma coming to this world related to the relationships. That is your selfless service. So I've also seen these people either getting married because the society, because there was, it was their duty to get married. Or I've seen such people sacrificing their love for their family and getting married to someone that their family suggested. So that's also something I've seen with this nakshatra. Now, the professions with this nakshatra. Since Dhanishta, the Ashtavasu, rules the eight directions, these people can be excellent architectures. They do very well with designing the blueprints of the home, especially on the side of Capricorn. They are the actual architectures, they deal with the real estate. On the side of Aquarius, they're digital creators, like creating digital blueprints, using technology into the architecture field, using technology and technical innovations into the real estate side. And even these professions could be your profession, or this can be the profession of your spouse. With Dhanishta on both the sides, Capricorn or Aquarius, you can also have a spouse who is into the IT sector, or you yourself can be into IT, coding, decoding, or technicalities with coding language into that sector. On the side of Aquarius, you marry a person who is more of a philanthropist, and you yourself are a philanthropist. Both of you have your karma to give back to the society and to be present within the society. So, overall, this nakshatra gives you the sense of discipline, gives you the passion, gives you the ambition, but at the same time, it gives you a very technical mindset within your relationships. And what do we mean by technicality? What do we mean by technical aspect towards relationship? That means that you don't use your love or the emotional intelligence into your relationships. Rather, you use your logic or your logical intelligence within your relationships. So that's why you're not willing to ignore any slightest thing that happens within your relationships or that comes from your partner. So that's what technicality represents here. That you're not able to ignore anything, and that comes out as a topic of argument, as a topic of debate, and that causes fight or a warlike situation. So the remedies for this nakshatra, if you have your Shukra in this nakshatra, check your southeast direction. Whether there is no, there shouldn't be any Vastu dosha or there shouldn't be any cluster. You need to have that direction very pure, very pious, very beautiful looking. Another thing, always abide by what you say. Only say something if you mean it. Only say something if you want to abide by it. Be man or woman of your words. One more thing, never curse a woman. Never curse your partner, especially in aggression. If you know the story of Bhishma Pitamah and the curse he received by Amba, just because he rejected Amba's proposal to marry him, then she came back as Shikhandi and was the cause of his death because he knew that, Shikhandi was earlier a woman and he took the oath that he is never going to fight a woman. So never fight a woman, even if you are a male, even if you are a female. If you want to have healthy relationships, if you do not want to have complications within your money matters, within your relationships, within your marriage, do not curse a woman, do not curse your partner at any cost. And be connected with music. Not just hang instruments within your home, but try to play them. Make it a part of your hobby, everyday hobby. Trust me, this will help. And one more thing is with Dhanishta Nakshatra individuals, with Venus coming into Dhanishta, it sometimes becomes necessity for them to just move in on their own drums and beats rhythm. What it represents, the drums and flutes, walking on the rhythm of drums and flutes. It represents the power of ignorance, the power of understanding and maturity, that what needs your attention and what needs to be ignored for your own mental peace, for your own health of relationships. All right. So, whichsoever planet actually gets connected with your Dhanishta, there is going to be, a battle regarding that, the significance of that planet. Especially with Venus, it's a warfare with your family ties, with your relationship, with your marriage. But most of the things you can handle. Trust me on this, you can. All right. So, guys, this was my analysis regarding Venus in Dhanishta Nakshatra. To be honest, this is one of the my favorite, placements, Venus in Dhanishta Nakshatra, because I know how powerful these people are, how courageous these people are. And trust me on this, life or, God gives difficulties or problems or obstacles to those who know how to fight it. And you guys are fighters, you guys are warriors. Remember Bhishma Pitama, one of the greatest warrior of their time. That's what you are of your life. You are the warrior of your life, and you will have to understand that you are the person who can take yourself out of the misery and shine like a diamond. I forgot to tell one more thing. The constellation of Dhanishta is formed in the shape of a diamond. So, a Dhanishta individual with Venus in Dhanishta, in love, you'll have to go through the transformations that a diamond goes through. How from coal, it is pressurized, it is hammered upon, and it comes out as the diamond. That's what your journey is in love. That's what your journey is in relationships. All right. So, another thing, I don't know, I'm just remembering one thing after another, and I want to give all the piece of information here. So, as far as the appearance of your partner is concerned with Venus in Dhanishta. So this would not represent your appearance until unless you have Venus in Dhanishta in the first house or Venus is your first lord. All right. So Venus in Dhanishta on the side of Taurus, on the side of Capricorn, sorry, not Taurus, on the side of Capricorn and on the side of Aquarius. Your partner is going to have a small but a broad face with a prominent cheek line, jawline, this jawline and cheek line also. They have shorter face, like if you see my face, they are going to be like just this. They have plumpier upper lip because it is Venus. Venus represents your upper lip, the feminine energy, and Dhanishta also represents your lip structure. So very, sharp cheekbone, sharp jawline, broad face, shorter face. With Taurus, actually, this is not just based on Shukra. You have to see the seventh lord also. But with Dhanishta, I've seen, on the Capricorn side, the height goes medium. On the Aquarius side, the height goes tall. But still, I would say do not take it 100% because it also depends on the seventh lord. All right. So that's the face structure. And along with that, you will see not very round eyes, but eyes which are very sharp on the corner. You can say not almond, I would actually address, but a little like sharp eyes. And they always have a light in their eyes. And as the constitute, because this is the nakshatra of Mangal, and these are the zodiac signs of Saturn, these people are going to be very formally dressed always and are going to be very um, conscious of their looks, very conscious of the society, because one of the traits of Bhishma Pitama was, out of the story, we understand that these people have a loneliness. So that's why they isolate themselves socially. As a reason, they become very overly conscious with their appearance and with their money matters when it comes to society. And that's also one of the reasons they go for philanthropy work. I've seen a lot of fighters and NGO workers with Venus in Dhanishta. Also moon with Dhanishta, but especially Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, all of these nakshatras in Dhanishta, especially on the side of Aquarius. And physique wise, they are going to always take care of their physique, their appearance. They are going to be very disciplined with their body. All right. So that's it. That was my analysis with Venus in the Dhanishta Nakshatra. I hope this helps and gives you best insights into this topic. All right. So we'll see you next time. Bye bye. Take care.